Hello guys, today we are going to take a look at this Liebherr A900 Litronic excavator. So it was about 2015 when I last did a video on this, and nothing has changed since then. I think that last video was to do with the drive motor, which is one of these Tamiya gear motors. We're going to install that on the frame. I probably intended to 3D print something for that and never got around to it. But we'll see if we can get something done with that. Today's really an update because I ordered these servos. These are 1.7 gram servos. I just seen them and I thought the dimension wise that they would fit pretty easily in the boom of this excavator, and they might be small enough that I can get one in here to get this extra movement as well. So at the minute my plan is to try and fit these. The worst case scenario, they don't have enough power to move the boom at all, and if that's the case we're going to have to put something bigger in the boom. But trying to accommodate these isn't going to really make any difference because they're quite small. Whatever else we put in, if we need more power, it's going to be much bigger and it's going to take much more of a modification to the boom. So the plan is to get these installed in the boom. I have about 6 of them, I think, so we could get 4 in there. If I had that done, then I will probably use a little sort of tie rod like this. I'll make it so that it comes down alongside the actuators that are, or the cylinders that are currently on it. There's a little bit of resistance there, so I might have to sand down or drill out these fake pistons a little bit, or fake cylinders, and then we can get our little push rod coming down alongside it so that we'll keep the little fake cylinders, and we'll be able to connect to our servo without interfering with them. So servo arm will come out the side, this little push rod will come along it, and it'll just be moving up and down like that. Probably because of the limit of the servo arm itself, so there's the longest one you can see there, so that's probably, it's not going to be enough movement if we connect it to here. So we'll get more leverage by connecting here, but we won't get as much travel from our excavator boom. So we might want to drill a hole down lower here, so maybe about this position here. So that means that our small servo arm will get more travel at this distance, but we're going to sacrifice the power for that. Obviously with servos this small, I'm not expecting this to be very powerful, but this is just a plastic model. It's very light. If I can get it so that we can dig through load coffee grind into a trailer, that would be perfect. We have big excavators that can lift the heavier gravels and other things like that, so if I can just get this to lift some very light coffee grind, that'll be fine. I don't actually know where the bucket of this is. I presume it's up on the diorama somewhere. I was probably using it as a load for some of the other videos, but I presume it's not very big either. So I don't think we're going to have to lift very much weight with this, but it'd be nice to get all 4 of these cylinder movements to work. When I have that done, then we'll get the lower half of the model working. We're obviously going to have the drive motor. We have a servo here for the dozer sort of element. I think that maybe goes on here. So we'll probably have to reprint these sort of strut pieces so that they'll fit over the axle, the new axle that we have, and then we'll have to get some sort of connection between the blade of the dozer sort of element of it and our servo back here. Then for the actual steering wheels, there was no steering axle on this, obviously enough. It was just 2 straight axles like this example here with our wheels mounted on them. So we are going to have to completely 3D print a steering mechanism for that. So I haven't even started to design that. And then when we've all that done, We then have the slewing to worry about, and if I can, I'm going to put in a slip ring so that we can get all of our wires through and get a 360-degree motion. That might mean that we have to put a microcontroller down here and use something like UART to communicate between the base and the body, because we have, well, we're going to have 2 servos and a motor here, so it might not be as simple as just getting a few wires back up to the main body, but we'll have to see how that goes. But the first thing I'm going to do for now is to try and mount all of these 4 servos in the boom, and once I've that done, I'll do another little update video and I'll just show you if that's working or if it's not working, and that should give an indication of how powerful these servos are. These, I think I got them from Banggood. They're probably pretty cheap. I think I bought 6 of them. Probably they're more expensive than the usual servo that I use, but I chose these because obviously they would fit nicely in the boom. It's not really the height that's the problem, it's the thickness. So you can see that there's plenty of space there either side to get the servo in there. It'll be the same back here. It fits in the width of the boom. Anything else is going to have to expand the boom, or it's going to show out through the side, so you'd lose the 900 little label that's on the side there. So I want to try and avoid that if I can, and these were kind of the size that would allow me to do that. Probably the actual raising and lowering of the boom, I'll probably get a bigger servo just mounted in the back here because we have extra space there. It's not going to be a big deal to get something mounted in behind here and sort of hide it, but we also have to account for the pivoting point here, so our wires are all going to be coming up underneath this point. We also need a slewing motor in there, so it might be a case that the raising and lowering servo is actually back here and the slewing motor is here, but that all, we'll have to work that out. First of all, we'll try and get the boom working and we'll go from there. So that's just a little update on it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.